Hi, I'm Chris Peterson, the owner of Rivendale Homes. I wanted to talk to you today about how to hire an architect for a custom home in Austin, Texas. What are the 10 things you should know before you go and hire an architect? You're really doing more than hiring an architect, you're hiring a design team. And I want to make sure that when you bring the architect on, you also think about working with the builder to help the process flow smoothly and to make sure that you're on budget. Remember, almost 50% of the homes that are designed by architect come in over budget when they're sent to builders and you start pricing them out. If you have a builder come in under a design contract, you don't have to hire the builder to build your house at this point. You just bring them in under a design contract to work with you on the design and work with the architect to make sure that you're on track and you're going to stay on budget. That's a critical piece. So let's not get the cart before the horse and just hire the architect and then wait until the design's done and then bring the builder in, because quite often what we find when we get plans sent to us is that they're considerably over budget and they either need to be scrapped or redesigned. The first thing that I think is important is that the architect have the relevant experience in designing the type of home that you want. And by type of home, style. Primarily, we're referring to the exterior elevations. I find many architects have very strong opinions and design styles in one area. Some may love modern homes, but if you're looking for a traditional home, they really have a hard time of getting that traditional style and design that you want. And vice versa. They may love traditional homes, but if you want a modern home, they're not going to be comfortable with that, but have that expertise. So ask to see their portfolio. A lot of times they'll have the portfolio listed on the website. It may not be complete, but look at their portfolio and make sure that they have experience designing the style of home that you're interested in. Next thing, and this is very important, obviously, make sure that the builder and the architect, your design team, designs your home to stay on budget. We get so many plans that come in from architects without a builder involved, and they're significantly over budget. We had one the other day where there was a conceptual drawing, but they probably spent $7,000 to $10,000 just on the conceptual floor plan layout. And it was almost double. Quickly, we could ascertain that it was almost double what the person had in budget to build. This is very common. Make sure the architect can design a home within your budget. Discuss your budget with them and be honest with them. Quite often architects tell me, he said, we want to design a home over a home buyer's budget because in our experience, we want them to be able to stretch to afford the most beautiful home that they can. I'm not sure that's the correct philosophy. My preference is for people to be transparent and honest. If you can afford $2 million, tell the architect that you can afford $2 million and not a penny over. And then your design team will work towards that number. Quite often we do see people that'll say a lower number, a project gets designed, they keep adding to it, and that's fine, but it's a long roundabout way to get to the process. So for me, I'm very direct. I like to be transparent. I want the architect to know, I want the design team to know how much I can afford to spend, and then I want to hold that line. So when you're working with an architect, have that honest conversation with them and tell them this is really important, because architects and interior designers that you're working with, they're salespeople. They're going to sell you a beautiful product, and they're going to be less concerned with your budget. Most homeowners want a beautiful product at a price they can afford. The next item we feel is very important in working with an architect is clear, open, and honest communication. Make sure you have a good relationship with the architect. They're a key part of your design team. And make sure the communication, who are you going to be working with? Are you going to be working with the lead architect? Are you going to be assigned to a junior architect? Is the communication rhythm flowing? Is it constant? If you email them, are they getting back to you within 24 hours? Often projects language because the homeowner may have asked a question, or there may have been an email going back and forth, and it'll take a week for the issue to be resolved. You want your design team. Architect is the lead of the design team. You always have an interior designer, maybe a junior architect working on the project. The architect's really driving the process. If they're asked a question, if they're sent a request for information and they're not responding appropriately, if they're not following up with their subcontractors, the structural engineers, the frame design, the foundation design, permitting with the city, your project can really languish, and time is money in construction. We want to move quickly through the process. So really ask about the communication rhythm and who's going to be in charge of the project. Pay attention to how quickly they respond to your questions. The next item that you should think about is your builder representative. Quite often, architects advocate to be a builder representative on the job and to oversee the construction. Sometimes homeowners feel comfortable representing themselves on the job. Other time they have a good enough relationship with a builder that they don't feel it needs to be done. Or you can also hire a third party as a builder representative. This is a discussion you'll want to have with the architect. Hold off on making that decision until you spoke with the builder and reviewed the situation with him. Quite often builders have a strong opinion one way or another. My personal experience is if I'm an advocate for a builder's representative, I'm going to hire a third party, quite often the architects, too invested in the project emotionally in the plans. It's hard for them to make an unemotional decision. And so if you're going to have an owner's representative, hire a neutral third-party representative. That would be something that I would advocate for. We work with a lot of homeowners without homeowner representation. Things go fine. We work with some that do have it. Things go fine in that area too, but it's just something that you'll want to consider. If you're interested in sustainability and energy saving features, some architects are very knowledgeable in that area. Others are less knowledgeable. It's a small niche area. If that's important to you, you'll definitely want to bring that up and discuss that with your architect at the time that you're interviewing them. The next item that we think is important is the transparent fee structures. I see architects with a lot of different fee structures, from a price per foot to a percentage of the total build. You want to understand upfront what your architect's charging. Most architects charge a price per foot. In the city of Boston, that generally ranges from about $5 to $10 under roof square foot. Understand that most homeowners refer to a house as it's 4,000 square feet or 5,000 square feet, but architects and some builders refer to it under roof, which usually adds about another 20 to 25%. So a 4,000 square foot house with a 3-car garage and a covered patio and 4-foot overhangs is going to be about 5,000 square feet. When they're quoting you a price per foot, it's not a 4,000 square foot house. They're quoting you on 5,000 square feet under roof at $10 a foot. That's $50,000. So just remember and understand the difference. If you get a quote and it says under roof, it's not the livable space in the house. That's including the garage and all exterior patios that are under roof, all your eaves and overhang. That's what you're paying for. I would never advocate to hire an architect on a percentage of the construction build, because I just think that's not in the homeowner's interest. I think a fixed rate is fair. As I said, those rates in Austin for good architecture are running $5 to $10 a square foot under roof. Lastly, we always want to check for references and reviews. Hopefully you can talk to them. If you can find a couple builders that have worked with them, that's even better than the homeowners, because they understand really what went into the process. Was it an easy process? Did it stay on budget? Were the plans complete? Were they easy to build? Or was it a very challenging process? The homeowner sees the finished product. Of course, they're paying for it, so their opinion counts more than anybody else's, but the builder can really tell you how difficult it was to get that across the line. This video is based on a blog on our website. So if you want more details, please go to our website and check it out. If you're looking for references on quality architects in the city of Austin, we'd be happy to forward those to you. So reach out to us at Rivendale Homes and we'll be happy to discuss this further with you.